Welcome to the Voice of Football podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Matt.
And we're going to kick it off today with a special epi for the boys.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Just in.
Siren noise. Woo, woo, woo. Breaking news.
Totally.
Breaking news alert for an Arsene Wenger special of the year.
Yeah. Arsene Wenger said he's going to step down.
Yeah,
Are
finally.
you emotional as an Arsenal fan?
I went through a range of emotions today, mate. Someone at work said, "Oh, did you hear Arsene Wenger's leaving?" And I went, "Let's go!" And then, throughout the day, I was like, "Oh, but also let's go."
Yeah. Also, let's go. That's what he's thinking as well. Let's go.
Well, the main thing I was thinking, I might have said it on the podcast actually. I don't know. Was I'm happy that I'm happy he just left. Because I feel bad sacking him.
I was gonna say, I think that was the problem. I think that was all that could happen though, is he leaves.
Yeah.
I felt like they were going to constantly go through, and he's just like, yeah, it's on my terms. Like, you can't sack me.
Yeah, I think
when you do that little football manager cheat when it's become unsackable. That's what he's done.
Someone needed to aggressively show him the door, so I'm glad that that happened. And then now we can have a nice everyone can be happy and be like, "Oh, thanks." Give him a nice send off, rather than being just get out, you cunt. It can be.
I picture him your final match of the season. Everyone goes home and he's like, "Oh, bye guys," and he just he has one switch in all the films and TV series that just turns off all the lights at the Emirates, and he's like, "Bye," a little look back at the stadium as he leaves.
Either that, or he leaves the stadium, gets home, and then the camera cuts to black, and you're like, that's the end of the film. And then it comes the credits come on, and then the after credits scene is him going, "I signed a 2-year contract." And he just comes back. And it's
it could be it could end seeing him, and it has that old fashioned where it's the end.
Yeah.
And then it goes, "The end?" Question mark.
It's like Terminator or something, and he comes back and he's like, "You thought you got rid of me. I'm back." Anyway, for this special episode, we thought we would steal everyone else's idea and pick our Arsenal 11 for the Arsene Wenger era.
Yes. I mean, as a Tottenham fan, this was a little
bit tricky.
Yeah. I mean, one, because I just don't like you. So
I don't take it personally.
All these, I'm, I like you if the average amount, but Arsenal a bit less.
Okay.
And so I know a lot of these players, but a lot of the time, I mean, I've picked one thinking about it. I'm like, why as a Tottenham fan have I picked him? Little spoiler there for you. Maybe write in the comments who you think I've picked. As a Tottenham fan, who would be the worst possible person a Tottenham fan would ever pick?
That's definitely going to be the title of this episode. Tottenham fan picks greatest Arsenal 11. He's extremely bitter about it.
Little hint that his name rhymes with Pudus. Yeah.
I'll let you kick it off then.
Okay.
For goalkeeper.
I mean, probably, this team's all about building it from the back, bit of possession.
Probably the
starting from the back.
Easiest pick, I would say.
Yes.
Because I think there's only between two of them. Really? And that's in Arsene Wenger's been there 22 years, and we've only had two good goalkeepers in that time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know who your second goalkeeper is.
Well,
I'm presuming not the one I've picked.
I'll let you say the one you've picked.
Okay. Well, obviously gone for David Seaman.
Classic.
Yes.
Classic.
Hands like a giant.
Oh my God, that one save in the FA Cup against Aston Villa.
Oh, I think I know that.
Right, and it goes over his.
Oh yeah.
And he reaches behind him and claws
it out
against gravity, and I'm like, how have you? It's in a Spider-Man film where he does some superhero shit and keeps someone's falling through a building and he just catches them right at the
It reminds me of a
legend.
really, 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 really good Aurelio Gomez. Aurelio Gomez had the hands, he just didn't have any of the talent.
Not quite the coordination, bless him. The only other one I would have been tempted by is Lehmann.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say, but I mean, he did. My only ever memory of him, to be fair, is in a Tottenham Arsenal derby game.
Yeah.
Robbie Keane standing on him in a corner, and he just got pissed off and just lashed out at Keane and got sent off, and I was like, yeah. Well done, Robbie.
That's what makes it. That's what we like. David Seaman was by far the best keeper.
Oh yeah.
We had, but Lehmann is a legendary keeper because you're that's the kind of guy who I'd want in goal. I feel like David Seaman, I'd be like, well, yeah, I'll keep him out, but I'd be like, nah, I want lame all day. Like, I feel like people would be like scared to go towards the goal because they'd be like, I don't know about that.
You just wouldn't want to mess with him.
Like, except he did get himself sent off in the Champions League final. That was a bit rough.
Yeah, that also. I mean, yeah. He's still part of your like coaching team, isn't he? He's your goalkeeping coach.
Yeah, he came back this season to be goalkeeping coach.
That's quite nice. I can't tell if it's a like football manager move thing that I would do, or I'd bring like ex-Tottenham players to come be coaches just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Because like Tottenham keep doing this as well. Like we've got Scott Parker and stuff. I'm like, is he actually a good coach? And like Brad Friedel is just like an American representative for us, not even like a coach. I'm like, are you just signing these people because you're just like, yeah, you were once one of us, come be one of us again. Like, you know, like Ryan Mason's going to come back and be a coach. I'm like, is he a good coach? I don't know. It was weird. But James Naismith was actually a very good keeper and, yeah, quite aggressive. So I imagine he's a decent mentor, yeah.
Moving on to, like, we'll just go defenders. I don't know what formation you've picked.
Well, I've picked like a 5-2-3, although I don't think... So if I start with like right wing back,
okay,
I don't think this guy would ever play here at all.
Well,
it's not a formation.
Have you got like a right winger?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay, go for like start with centre backs then. They're always more similar.
All right, okay, that's all right.
Set me a centre back.
Right. Shall I just go straight into the spoiler because this was the first centre back I probably actually thought of for your team. Sol Campbell.
Sol Campbell.
No, I don't want to say it. Sol Campbell.
Oh man.
I mean, he was just so good.
He was really good.
Like really good English as well.
Yeah. I have since decided I don't like him.
Oh, I mean, oh yeah.
Like, I think in real life, he might be a bit of a prick.
Yes, definitely.
But he also did have that legendary sliding tackle that went on forever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, surely there's a Guinness World Record for that. That must be like the longest sliding tackle
Every
ever.
time someone makes a tackle, someone, like, there's always someone in, like, the comments on Twitter that replies with, like, the gif of him just keeps going. Okay, interesting. Who did you go for your other centre-back, then?
Well, again, I've got 3 centre-backs here. It's not a problem.
Set me with them.
I mean, I wanted all these 3, which is why I then needed a 5 at the back.
Yeah.
So the next one is Martin Keown.
Martin Keown. It's a good pick.
Fairly, like, standard.
Yeah. I've also gone Martin Keown for one of mine.
Who was I guess you also picked Sol Campbell.
No.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't pick Sol Campbell.
Oh, shock.
But yeah, Martin Keown has to go in it for me. For, like... He's, again, a good defender, but then the same as Lehmann. Like, he's a good character. Like,
that's
I
what
love
I
that.
think. Like, even when I see him now talking about football, he's just so, like... I don't know, he's just really...
He just loves it.
He loves
like,
it, yeah.
Just, like... I don't always, like, agree with what he says, but, like... It's just, like, moments, like, we played Man United.
Is this going to be the Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Yeah.
I was just about to mention this. I was like, was this him?
the penalty, and he's screaming
at him.
And then he misses
it, and then he just jumps on him, doesn't he? And I'm like, oh my god.
That's the kind of, like... I feel like if he did that nowadays, it's like, red card, you spoke too aggressively
really
to an opponent. I'm like, nah, I want that all day. Like, give me... I want some beef. Then the other centre-back I went for was Tony Adams.
Yeah, that was mine.
My pair.
That was that was the third one for the little trio.
Yeah, Tony. He's also... maybe it's just Arsenal defenders. They do too many headers and they turn into, like... He's also gone a bit weird now, I think.
Yeah.
A little bit. He got really angry that he didn't get invited to be a coach for Arsenal. And then I saw him, you know, when he went to, like, Spain and did the coaching thing, and there's him doing, like, the dance.
That's who that was. I forgot who that was.
And I was like...
Yeah,
that's probably why you haven't been invited to be a coach.
Granada, whoever the hell that was. Yeah, oh my god.
And then they got instantly, like, relegated or something, and I was like, yep, that'll be another reason then, won't it?
Didn't he have some really weird press conference as well?
Yes, he did.
Well, it was there. Yeah. I can't even remember what was weird about it.
There was like some weird metaphors or something. And I was like, oh. Anyway.
So have you got a left and right back in yours then?
Yes, I have.
You have. Okay. Well,
I have many honourable mentions, so I just sort of like...
I don't know. Do you want to do honourable mentions like as we cover the position or at the end?
Oh yeah, we can do them as we cover the position. I haven't got any for defenders.
Oh, right, okay. Because I was just going to say people like Lee Dixon and things. How are they? I mean, I remember him as a Tottenham fan, but not really. Don't quite know.
Yeah, he's probably my second choice right back. I would say. My number 1 pick is Lauren.
Ooh. Is this for right back position?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like he was just like, I'm trying to think of how to describe a player he was like, but it was like solid, but he still, how am I going to word this? Like, you know how some players, sometimes they're really good and sometimes they do really stupid things?
Yeah.
His, like, level was, like, he was either really good or just, like, consistent.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
he was never, like, consistently amazing. But every now and then he'd be like, whoa, I was amazing. And then he'd go back to being,
Maybe-
like, okay.
Maybe like a Philip Lahm?
Yeah.
In that sort of position? Like,
Kind of just
never really
like-
does anything bad, but...
You wouldn't be like, he's the best Arsenal player I've ever seen. But
Yeah.
you'd be like, he's a defender right there. Oh, that'll do. Something we don't have much of anymore. Bellerin's too worried about his hair.
Yeah.
And his, like, appearing on...
Speed.
Like... Speed? I didn't know he is. Oh, I see, you're talking about...
Yeah, no, just a general pace. He just loves that about himself, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Just like, oh, look how quick I am.
He's too busy.
Sure, he's got loads of girlfriends.
Sure, he's got loads of girlfriends.
Yeah, you know, 'cause
Good
he
on him.
gets through them all because he's so quick.
Oh, I see. very, very many misunderstandings. And then at left back, I've gone for Ashley Cole.
Yeah, of course, standard. I mean,
He did leave.
I was just about to say that can't be
In
too
his prime.
sweet as an Arsenal fan to admit Ashley Cole.
Jose Mourinho just snipped him up
Yeah,
a little bit. I can't remember, who did we get in return? Oh, God, I don't remember. We got William Gallas.
oh, he is a little London club slag. He's been to everyone. Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham. He's been to. Now.
As far as Arsene Wenger's legacy goes, making him captain has got to be one of the worst decisions I think I've ever seen.
Oh, I don't know. Because
they were like-
who we're not going to mention this is like Shamak.
Legend, free transfer.
And
Not
like
a bad piece of business there.
Bentner. I mean, I don't know where any of these
Bentner, he's
came
the
from.
greatest of all time. So he says anyway. You got the stats to back it up. I remember if we got Gallas, we made him captain, and then like there was one game we lost, and he just sat on the pitch and refused to go into the dressing room. He was just sulking, and I was like, "That's a captain right there."
That's a good captain, yeah. I saw him
Cringe.
recently in some like. He was doing one of those like interviews before a match,
Yeah.
and I don't know if he just didn't fully understand like the language or what, but his answers were so generic when they're like, "Oh, you know, they played pretty well last time out, didn't they?" He's like, "Yeah, no, they passed the ball really well, and you know, they often get into attacking areas and
It's like Michael
sometimes
Owen.
score goals." Yeah, and I was like, "Oh yeah, William Gallas. Like, I've never seen you talk before about football.
Yeah.
Like, what's your sort of pundit view? I want to know what you think about the game." And he just sort of said really vague things like, "What are you talking about? Give me like an opinion on something. You're just telling me what they do."
Bless him. Who have you got in your midfields then?
So yeah, so I've gone 5-2-3. So I've only got two centre mids.
Okay.
But I think actually thinking about it, it's a pretty good pairing because they would like cover each other. So number one all time is Patrick Vieira.
Oh yeah.
Like without a doubt.
Oh, I would take a Patrick Vieira
He's
in a heartbeat.
like Dembele is Vieira's understudy.
I do love Dembele.
Exactly.
Yeah, Patrick
So, like,
Vieira is like...
he's the real like captain and coach you should have in the team.
Kolo Touré before Kolo Touré. And Kolo Touré was before Yaya Touré. And Dembele...
Yaya
no,
Touré,
Dembele's
yeah.
all at the same time, but like... You know,
Yeah.
it's just like... one of those players I'd be terrified of.
Oh yeah.
Because
Could you imagine,
it
like-
wasn't even like he was like angry.
He was just good.
Like, yeah, he was just good.
He
and
just had a
weak.
presence like in the middle of the pitch. You're
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to get round you or like tackle you or do anything. Like I can't imagine like Roy Keane or anyone. I presume he came up against the same kind of time. Yeah. I
Well,
can't,
that was like when they had the big fight at
oh yeah.
at United. Was it Fabregas threw the pizza? And it hit.
Is it called Pizzagate or something?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah.
That was a classic moment.
Fabregas admitted that he threw that recently.
Yeah.
He was on like a league of their own or something. He admitted he threw it.
Bless him.
I don't know.
Yeah.
After all these years, you're just like, yeah, that was me. To just be like, yeah, this would be cool to say. Oh, it actually was him.
Yeah, I feel like Vieira's the classic choice.
Yeah,
Don't you go
easy.
far
I
wrong
mean,
with that.
you could just have him on his own in there.
Yeah,
I think pretty easily.
I mean that's what I've got in mind.
Actually.
Yeah, he's really rocking it on his own. Who else you got?
Yeah, speaking of pizza throwing, my next one is Cesc Fabregas in the centre mid.
Okay.
not like... I don't think he's one of the all-time best, maybe, that you've had in that position. But I just think, on his day, equally a very, very good player.
Yeah.
And sort of in this formation as well, is why I said I think the two would go together. I think you're going to have Vieira just winning the ball back and like controlling it, and he'd just give it to Fabregas, and then Fabregas could make up for the centre attacking mid role that I'm lacking.
I think a lot of people like underestimate Fabregas as well because he's been playing for quite a while.
Yeah.
But he's still not that old.
Yeah.
Like when he played in the Premier League for us when he was 16. Which blows my mind a bit. Like, it hurts my brain to think, Jesus Christ. When I was
could
16,
barely pass exams at like 16. Let alone pass a ball.
getting out on a t-shirt. So, like, I remember him having, like, really great... What was it? Played against Barcelona or something as well.
Yeah.
Like, when he was, like, 17. I was like, what? It's madness.
Yeah, I mean...
He was, like, good as well. He wasn't, like,
yeah.
when you put on, like, your youngster and you're like, oh, never know. You're like, no, he's actually our best player.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, I feel like he's got a bit of a bad rep now because he's like been around for a while.
Yeah, I feel like he has
fallen slightly.
I feel like he has just struggled at Chelsea in general. I don't know why he really went to Chelsea. I feel like that was somebody being like, oh yeah, go and get Cesc Fabregas in, he'd be great.
Yeah.
It just wasn't really what they needed, and it wasn't what Fabregas needed.
Okay, yeah. Here's one of my honourable mentions. I will say that.
So you just got Vieira then as centre mid?
Yeah, my other honourable mention is Gilberto Silva as well, in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Because I couldn't really fit him in my team, but he's another one of those, like, he could go and play for Arsenal now. Like, he is just a defensive midfield player.
Yeah.
It's really simple. Just tackles people, passes it forward, every now and then scores a screamer, and that's all you need.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you don't have to do anything, but, like, you could rely on him. It wouldn't matter, like, you could have, like, oh no, we haven't got Adams and Keown, or we haven't got Sol Campbell, we've got Dave from down the road. You'd be like, that's all right, Gilberto's in front of him. He probably won't have to make a tackle all game. Like, it's like having an Eric Dyer and a Wanyama next to each other and being like, no, they're not getting past this. Like, it's just solid. Yeah. So he gets an honourable mention from me. He seems like a really nice guy. Unlike some of the other people on this team. Moving forward, would you like to pick me another?
So, how many like attacking players have you got then? Loads?
4.
4. All right, so
I've got 2 wingers and 2 strikers.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you've done like a... What have you done? 4-2-4?
Sort of. Like, yeah, like a 4-1-2-1-2. 4-1-2-1-1.
All right. Okay. We'll just roll with it. So probably on my right wing.
Yep.
Or right wing. I don't know if this would be like the correct person, like all time, because he's not that all time great. He's just very good now, or was. Is Alexis Sanchez. Gets in my team. I think it's just unfortunate that he just hasn't been in a particularly good team.
Yeah.
Because I feel like probably in the back in the day with some of these players, they'd be an incredible player. I think in amongst it.
I think he's definitely like not someone a lot of people are going to put in their team.
Yeah.
But I think there's as much of a case for him as there is for Van Persie.
Yeah.
Like those two are my like honourable mentions for that kind of area.
Yeah.
And like I think they're both really good players who were good at the wrong time. Like they both when Van Persie like won the Golden Boot scoring like 30 goals and then went to Man United and then won the league because he was like, oh, it's a good team. I score 20 goals and I win the league. Like I score 30 goals and I finish like second or something.
Yeah. Poor Harry Kane.
So, but like, yeah, I think Sanchez is sort of, he's had enough good seasons where I'm like, yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
You're
he's performed at a consistent level for me that he's like in the past couple of recent years, he's been Arsenal's like best player.
Yeah.
And that's enough for me to be like in the team.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like, I feel like a lot of my honourable mentions are just because they scored really good goals. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Van Persie gets in there for like that volley he scored against Chelsea. We won like 4-3 or something. And it's like the last few minutes and the ball comes over his shoulder and he smashes it in with his left foot and that wins us the game.
I was just going to say, he would... I think it sealed them the title. Although it's not even an Arsenal goal, I would put him in for the goal he scored for Man United against Aston Villa, where I think it's pretty much the same thing. The ball comes over his shoulder and he volleys it into the far right corner, like from outside the box.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a goal.
In fact, I'd put him in my team for that one he scored for the Netherlands, where he does like the header over the keeper.
Oh my God, yes.
It's not even related, but it's a great
meme, goal. Like, oh, so long.
But there are some great goals. I have on the right wing, then I have Freddie Ljungberg.
Yeah.
That's my fave. Probably.
Did I ever say that as my right back? My right wing back?
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Ljungberg would be my right wing back.
Oh, well, there you go then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a sort of... So I was going to say, it doesn't sound like much, but I think he's probably like my fourth favourite Arsenal player. Which sounds not impressive, but you can't go ahead of the other three. So, like, you're just going to have to settle. Next best, mate. But yeah, I love Freddie Ljungberg.
Who are your other three? Or are they mentioned in a minute?
They're the three coming up.
Ah, cool.
Yep.
Nice. I can understand two of them.
So yeah,
that's who I've got.
Freddie Ljungberg gets in for sure. He's got a great goal at the FA Cup final against Chelsea.
They really have just got into your team because they've scored amazing goals, haven't they?
Plus, he always had sick haircuts before sick haircuts were a thing. Like, Pogba's turned up now with his blue whatever. And
been done, mate.
Freddie Ljungberg's like, yeah, I got a red Mohican, mate. And what? Modelled for Calvin Klein. What more do you want? I know all the Freddie Ljungberg facts.
Wow, God knows what you know about the other three if he's your fourth.
Who have you got on the other side then?
On the other side, I don't think it would work, but I just had to do it for the formation. Is because I think he would work better as a partnership than out wide. And that probably tells you who I've got as striker. Is Dennis Bergkamp.
Good shout.
I just needed him in the team, pretty much.
He
needs to be there.
He's in my team. I've got him like in the middle, just behind Henry.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
He's probably the best Arsenal player I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
That no one else like really mentions.
Yeah.
Because he's like a really quiet, like he's a nice reserved man.
So I was just gonna say, I always remember his name. I can't really think of anything he particularly did that was like amazing. I just remember he's really good.
I've got some goals to show you, my friend. You must know the one against Newcastle. Where the ball
you're
comes
right.
and
Sorry,
he
you are
flicks
right. Yes. I think that is actually one of my all-time favourite goals. I don't know how I even forgot that one was him.
But he was just like...
I still to this day feel like he didn't mean that.
I think he's...
Surely there's like no human is like, I'm going to do this now.
That's why though. That's what I mean. He's just...
It's like a cat. He's just like... Whew.
He just has like... I think it's because he's probably the kind of player that I like most. But he was one of those... But you could like ping it at him from any direction. And he just like... He has like that awareness of like, oh yeah, that guy's there. So we can like take a touch and move it on. Or like... The ball's coming all the way over. Just bring it down, calm, pass it.
Yeah.
He's not trying to score 40 goals a season, but he could if he wanted.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, I'd rather get like 20 assists. It's fine. I'd rather just do this. Like, he didn't even like flying, so he didn't used to play in like European games until they were at home. And I was like, this man,
seriously?
yeah.
Oh God.
But this man's so good, he just gets in the team anyway. You're like, oh, he can't play the away leg, and you're like, well, okay.
Why don't they just take like the ferry or something in the car?
Oh, I think they did for like something.
Oh, right, okay.
But like, if it was too far, I was just like, it's legendary. Anyway, Dennis gets in my team. Who have you got as your other? You've got two strikers then.
Well, no, because those are my two wingers, and I've got one main striker.
Oh, yeah, actually,
so
you had 5
5-2-3, yeah.
So the other one I had on my left then was Robert Pires.
Yeah, do you know? I was so close to including him.
Very much. I can understand why he wouldn't go in other people's teams because he's my personal kind of like.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I loved Pires because he was like. I don't know. Maybe like kids nowadays have it with Ozil a bit. I don't know, but like he was like the assist master.
Yeah.
And he would like, or he could like cut in and score, and he scored. I don't know. Every time, great goals. I'm sorry. Keep going back to it. There's one.
You have to show me like a highlight reel after this, like.
There's
put
one
that Invincible season DVD on. Like,
Mate, I've watched it so many times when I was a kid. The video broke, I watched it so many times. Literally, no word of a lie. Yeah, there's one goal against the Aston Villa or something, the ball comes over, he flicks it over the defender's head, like the keeper's moving out, he just lobs it over him, and then just like, it's like, no worries, lads, no worries. I was like, oh. Anyway, he was like my kind of player, because he'd be like, he'd have moments where like he'd go like clean, someone passed it through, and he'd go clean through round the keeper, and then he'd pass it to Henri, just to be like, have a goal, mate. Like, and I'd be like, that would be me. I'd be like, I don't need the goal, it's fine. Thierry, you take him, mate.
Thierry, you take it.
Like, I'll take the assists. I'd be like, oh, Thierry's.
Oh, nice guy. Have we covered your all-time favourite guy?
Well, I think, but they're interchangeable. Bergkamp, Perez,
okay.
and
so it's like just a top three
and the
in
last
general.
one, yeah, is.
I mean,
the last one I've gone for is Sylvain Wiltord.
do you know what? I was so like, wait, what? Sylvain?
He's a great player. He scored at least one goal for us.
I mean,
He
on
was
that
actually
level,
alright, but
my favourite player.
Adebayor.
Ooh, yeah,
He scored some decent goals.
he did actually.
It was alright.
I mean, I preferred him at Tottenham than at Arsenal.
Sold him for a decent profit, and then
He's played for Arsenal, Man City, and Tottenham,
yeah, he's a prick though.
and like Crystal Palace, and
Yeah,
possibly someone else I can't think of. Maybe not.
yeah, he was like knockoff Drogba.
Yeah, he was. It was like
everyone saw
decent.
Drogba being good for Chelsea, and then we were like, Adebayor, I guess. Like, you're tall, you can play that role, and they were like, no, he can't.
I remember when like Tim Sherwood took over and he suddenly got Adebayor scoring and he scored like 12 goals and they're like, oh wow, how have you got him so good? I was like, 12 goals is still shit. Like, we still need a lot more than that. Like,
Yeah, that's all you're gonna get in your career now.
yeah.
So
yeah.
we're gone Thierry, right?
Oh yeah, Thierry. I was going to jokingly say Nicholas Anelka, but that would be almost slightly sensible pick 'cause he was decent.
Yeah.
But no, Thierry all day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really like the man actually as a personality. When like, it's more, I get he was good, but every time I see him now as a pundit, I'm like, it doesn't mean you know everything about the game, mate. Every goal somebody scores, he's like, that is like me. I don't know why that went like African, not French. he's like, I would see the ball, and I would know where the goal is. It's still like African, not French.
That was French, you're right.
But yeah, it's just every time I see him as a pundit, it's so irritating listening to him talk because he always brings it back to like how good he was.
I like to call it the Alan Shearer effect.
Oh, Alan Shearer does do that.
Where you
as well.
score like a lot of goals in the Premier League and then suddenly every goal is your goal. Or the Alan Smith effect. Every time someone scores a header, that's your header. Trying to think of other examples of like pundit says like this is.
I mean, Alan Shearer though did score like a. I suppose Thierry Henry just left the league though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Also, why are Arsenal fans say like, "Oh, I love Thierry Henry," and they're really not bitter that he went off to Barcelona?
Yeah, but then he did score like he scored so many goals and he tried so and he won us a few leagues.
I suppose.
But then when we lost the Champions League final, that was the season before he went. And I think everyone was a bit like, yeah, fair, we should have won that. Like, if we can't win the Champions League in like our best season,
I suppose, yeah.
then I'd probably go to Barcelona and just because then the next season he won the Champions League there with them.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, fair. Like, I don't think we were ever bitter about. Maybe Alexander Hleb. I'm trying to think of players we were bitter went to Barcelona. We're not really bitter about Barcelona. It's mostly everyone else.
Hamburg, I guess?
Nah, so he always wanted to go. So we had like the trying to think of like the Modric scenario where you keep hold of him and he's like, I'll stay another season if I have to, and you're like, yay,
Yeah.
and then eventually he goes and you're like, oh.
No, I'm still bitter about that.
What about Gareth Bale? Is that like a good equivalent? Where you always knew he wanted to go.
Gareth Bale, to be fair, I was like, it's getting to the point where I'm like, just leave.
Yeah.
Like, it's boring me now as transfer news. I'm like, just leave. I'm done with it now. So maybe, yeah.
So yeah, it's sort of like where you know they always want to go to their team, and you're like, okay, fair.
I don't know, because like Fabregas, it was more obvious that was like his team, because that's where he was like at the youth academy and everything, wasn't it? So that one, I don't know if we've had anyone that's probably been like, I want to go back to my team.
Yeah, they're all just left because Tottenham shit.
Yeah, pretty much. That's probably why it hurts. Like, stay, please. We're so close to winning something, I promise.
It's always the ones that go to
5
Man City
years
that
later.
hurt the most.
Yeah, because then they win everything like straight away. Prick.
there's any consolation, because Arsenal are like 5-6 years ahead of Tottenham in this respect. They'll go to Man City and they'll be good for 2 or 3 seasons, but then they'll be really shit and they'll sell them somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's the Bakary Sagna, Gael Clichy, Sami Nasri. They've all gone now because they're bad. But they did win like 2 or 3 leagues.
Do you know my biggest upset at somebody leaving? To be fair, I think he's actually generally one of my like favourite players, even though he's there like 2 years.
Yeah.
Is Rafa van der Vaart.
Oh, Rafa van der Vaart.
I fell in love with the man. I don't know how to explain it.
I feel like that's what I was trying to explain with Bergkamp. He's
Yeah,
that kind of player.
probably.
Like I can't explain why.
He just really cared about Tottenham, and I'm like, you didn't know who Tottenham were before we said that you were interested in you. Like,
you just watch him and
can
you're
I play
like,
for Real Madrid? You don't know who Tottenham are.
Because even I remember watching like Van der Vaart. You just watch. He's just good.
He was really good.
Like I can't explain what he did.
No.
But you're like, why are you so good at football? It's like hurt my eyes. Please stop this madness.
Yeah, Harry Redknapp. What a signing, along with like Ryan Nelson. Oh my God. Why did we sign Ryan Nelson? I don't know why we've gone off topic here and talking about Tottenham. We'll save this when Richard Pochettino retires in 10 years. And there's also, 15 years maybe. And there's also
he's
won
got a
3
while
league
to go,
titles,
yeah.
7 FA Cups.
He's getting there.
He's been there like 4 years now.
4 years, wow.
Yeah, we haven't won shit yet. He also is so, by the way, not bothered about an FA Cup. It's hurting me a little.
Yeah, it's a little weird, right?
Yeah, we're like in the semi-final when he's like, Tottenham don't need a cup. I'm like, I kind of want you to win it though.
I feel like it's a little bit of like the Ranieri when like Leicester are like are literally about to win the league and he's like, whoa, we will not win the league. And you're like, you're gonna like or when they've already won it and he's like, no, we still have to play well. Like, I feel like that's Poch being like, no, it's fine, I don't care about the cup. And then he gets back in the dressing room and he's like, I swear to God, if you don't win this cup, I'm going to be so mad.
It's a very like interesting point he makes because he was talking earlier and he was saying how like domestic cups won't change people's perception of the club at the minute, whereas league titles and like Champions Leagues, they will. You know, he was saying how you beat Real Madrid and Dortmund and the perceptions are slightly changed. Then you play well against Juventus, perception has changed even more. Like, he was like, those are the games that actually matter. So I see his point slightly because he was also saying how the cup competitions in general it is luck about like who you get in a way.
Yeah.
So whereas he was like a league, you play all the same people as everyone else does. You play in all the same venues.
Yeah.
So he was like, that is the real competition you need to win, is the league title. That's the real show of whether you're like a really good team or not. Is for like 38 games a season.
Yeah.
Can you win that? So I get his point, but at the same time, I want to win a trophy. I just want something. As much as I've mocked Arsenal fans for the past like 15 years, where you've been like, oh, look at us winning FA Cups. I would take that right now. I want them to win the FA Cup. I'll be happy with one FA Cup in the next like 20 years if it just sparks them to go and win other things.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want. I want them to win the FA Cup now. So then they're like, oh, yeah, wow, oh, we can actually win something, you know? Oh, doesn't winning feel good? And then they go and like win a title or Champions League or something. That's what I want them to win it for. After we've won this one, if it can spark something, then I don't care about us winning it again. But like, we need to win something, because at the minute, even if it's the Carabao Cup, gives them a sense of something. Like, just get Harry Kane to go, oh wow, doesn't lifting a trophy feel good, guys? Let's all stay here.
I don't know. Once he gets a taste of it, he might be like, kind of like a few more of these.
True, yeah.
At the moment, he's like, I've never lifted one. I don't know what it feels like. Don't know how to really want to make that big step. And then once he's lifted one, he's like, oh my God, I have to do this every year.
True.
2 or 3 of these. Well, yeah, it was a nice little detour.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know why I just went off on top.
It's like a yin-yang balance. You talk about Arsenal a bit, you'll talk about Tottenham a bit.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I'll wait for 15 years down the line when we're doing this podcast still, and Pochettino retires as Tottenham manager.
As a Tottenham fan, I saw like lots of all the managers basically that Arsene Wenger's had a fight with have all been like, oh, fair play.
Yeah.
Like, I saw like Mourinho and Ferguson and everyone being like, "Oh, bye bye."
No Tottenham person's come out
I
and
was
said it
like,
yet.
Maurizio, you got something to say? You got something? Harry Redknapp, you got something? Anyone got something?
No,
to say?
no one wants to say anything. Even the club haven't come out and announced like anything.
Yeah, even Man United managed to tweet at us
Yeah.
to be like,
No.
no, yeah,
It is weird, isn't it? Because Man United are like your
something.
biggest rivals, probably apart from us. Like, and they are. And
Yeah.
they were quite courteous about it. But that was because it was like a competitive rivalry. Like, you know, it was a good rivalry because you both like, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to justify Tottenham not saying anything in this situation. As a Tottenham fan, do I like care about Arsene Wenger leaving? I'm glad because now you're finally going to be in our situation where you hopefully go through manager after manager after manager and not being able to have any long-term success for a while. Hopefully you're finally in this position. You go through like the David Moyes, the Louis van Gaal kind of era where, mind you, even Van Gaal won an FA Cup.
I really hope we're in the era of like the opposite, where we like actually spend some money on the right players. I'll clarify that, and then like we actually have someone who's like, oh yeah, how about some defending lads? That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet. Can't wait for that.
I feel it's going to be an interesting like thing because I think this is why it's just taken because even Mourinho is struggling now. I think it's why it's difficult with Man United as it will be with Arsenal. I fear it's not only have you got to come into a like you would any normal club where you'd come in you'd be like right, you know these players have for their whole career at Arsenal they've been with Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
I mean that'd be the case anywhere, but that's already difficult in itself. But Arsenal have spent the last 22 years, the board and everyone like that has spent 22 years working with Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they will know how to work with anyone else again. Do you know what I mean?
Like to. I think he'll probably still stay there as like director of football or something. I can't see him.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure he'll still be involved, but like
Yeah.
as an actual football manager coming in, you've suddenly got a lot more on your shoulders than just like the team, because you've got to get to grips with the whole like because the football club won't understand the football manager as well as you would usually. In clubs where they keep turning over managers, you get used to like the whole process of a new guy coming in, what he needs to know, etc.
Yeah.
Whereas they've had 22 years of just being like, oh, you're right, Arsene, like every Monday morning, 9 a.m.
I suppose
whenever.
so. But then you'd have that with any like new manager, wouldn't you? Really, like when Arsene Wenger first turned up, they must have had that. Like,
Yeah, but that's 22 years ago.
yeah, but like it's like anyone. Like if you get good results, it's not going to matter, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No,
If
not
you're
at
a
all.
good, if like that's why I'm worried if they get like a Brendan Rodgers because he's got like 2 games tops. Like if he hasn't won the league in the first 2 games, people are going to be really angry.
Yeah.
Like, you need someone who's got like a little bit of credit already with Arsenal fans. Otherwise, like it'll be like, oh well, we've lost to Barcelona and Man United. Well,
Yeah.
that's it. Sack him now.
Because that's the other thing is the fans, because I don't know how well you'll do, because Tottenham, I mean, we've just accepted, Pochettino keeps going, it's a project, and we go, all right, Poch, it's a project,
Yeah.
I kind of want you to win something soon, but we get it, it's a project, work on it then. Whereas I don't know how willing Arsenal fans will be like, what do you mean you haven't won the league in the first season?
I mean, we haven't done it for 14 years, so
No, I know, but wouldn't it like change your
time.
manager? You're like, come on, this is why we didn't like Arsene Wenger. So you're gonna have to gradually accept, like we do, that it's just gonna take time again.
yeah. I don't know. We built a new stadium. We had that like debacle, so I'm sure we'll have it's a new manager debacle. We still won't win. I think it's fine. Not fast. Just might get rid of like. It would just be nice to see like someone come in and be like, oh yeah, that's where this guy's
It would
supposed to
be,
play.
like-
Granit Xhaka's not a CDM.
But I mean,
Oh.
the high profile, the high profile names surely that you could bring in would do absolutely fine in the job. As you say,
You can't do
you've got some, like-
worse than we had done this season. That's the good thing. Like before, I would have been like,
Yeah.
the grass. Oh, your grass isn't always greener. Now I'm like, well, if you finish like 8th, like it doesn't really matter, does it? Like
Yeah, I suppose.
if someone comes in and gets top 4, we're gonna be like, okay, cool. I don't think that's that hard. Like to beat out like a Liverpool or a Chelsea or whatever. Like, it's
Hey,
like
Tottenham has struggled for years. Don't you dare say that.
you're not struggling now though.
Here we are. We just lost to Man City and then drew to Brighton. We're going to slip up to Chelsea soon.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, easily.
Bottom.
I can easily see us getting all the way to the final of the FA Cup and losing that.
Yep.
And bottling the league in the process, like waiting for the final.
Mm.
Getting fifth and losing the FA Cup final. You heard it here first. If that happens, and clipping this for years to come, I predicted Tottenham let what is a 5-point gap currently on fifth go with like 4 games to go.
Yeah.
And lose in the FA Cup final.
Pessimism at its finest.
Yes. You say pessimism, I say realism when you're a Tottenham fan. You just kind of come to accept it. Because I watched that Brighton game and I thought, we're never going to win this, are we, Spurs? Just kept watching us plugging away, trying to get a goal, and I was like, you're just not going to do it, are you? Just not going to do it. As soon as I saw Aurier trip that guy and bring down the penalty 18 seconds after we scored, I thought, you just don't want this, do you? You just don't want to win the league title or a cup.
Someone needs to sit down with that man and just briefly explain that you're supposed to get the ball. Because every time he gets into the penalty area, he's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Serge, please."
I haven't watched it since, but my instant reaction was that he didn't really touch him. I presume he did because I haven't seen it since. I presume it was actually a foul. But when I kept watching it on replay to begin with, I didn't really see much of a tackle in there. But I imagine he must have clipped him or something. But yeah, I'll let that slide. So, but yes, I'm pretty sure I probably predicted the future. Anyway, back to Arsenal. I'll probably back to Tottenham again. It's only natural when you talk about Arsenal to have to talk about Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do I care? Yeah, I just want you to do badly for the next several years. Leave a space open in top 4 for us.
Okay. Well, I'll see what I can do, but I'm not making any promises.
I don't want you to, but I surely you will slightly. There must be a 2-3 year period of stabilising something. I'd like to see you bring in somebody and stick with them though.
Well, I don't think the board have got it in them to organise enough to keep changing people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you have to have one of those, Chelsea. I feel like Abramovich is on the button. He's at every Chelsea game watching it, being like, "Are you doing good? Are you not?" I feel like Stan Kroenke is just wandering about aimlessly in some mansion in America, and someone sends him a text that goes, "Arsenal doing badly," and he goes, "KK," and then just leaves it for the next month, and then they're like, "No, seriously, it's going really badly," and he's like, mute. And then a month they start calling him. He's like, block. And then someone comes to his house. He's like, "Look, you have to make a decision." And he's like, "Fine." Oh, do I really? So I feel like we could easily have a manager that does terribly for 4 years, and he's like, do I have to go and do my job? Fine, you're sacked. Bring someone else in. Who cares?
At the same time, at least you now do have that leeway of it's not Arsene Wenger. So every time that he was doing badly, and they're like, "Sack him."
Yeah.
At least now they can actually be like, "You know what? Yeah, you're sacked. You've only been here 2 years.
Yeah.
You don't have a legacy to uphold. We're not scared of getting rid of you." So at least if somebody actually isn't working, you can just get rid of them now.
I don't know what Arsenal Fan TV are going to say anymore.
I was going to say, they're going to be struggling for content a little bit.
I suppose you can still talk about the players, because I bet they won't get rid of all of them. There'll still be a few that will remain. There'll be, you can't get rid of, there'll be a Mustafi left.
Yeah.
He's bound to make a few mistakes. So, you'll have something for troops to talk about.
Do you think...
Yes. Sometimes.
Do you think this will bring back some of the Arsenal fans that haven't been attending the games?
Yes.
Okay.
The only reason that they stopped, really, I think, is to make a point. Because they've been trying to make a point for the last, 3 years.
Yeah.
And no one's, paid any attention.
I didn't know if it was also a combination of the teams doing so badly. What's the point in turning up to a Premier League game anymore? Because that's gone.
Yeah, but it's sort of we've been in that situation before. Do you know what I mean? Where we've been there's not really any point, but you were still get behind the team. Whereas now it's look, you have to change something. And to be fair to them, I feel like it's worked better than before. Because there's been a little bit more people have had to say something. Do you know what I mean? Instead of being
It
like,
has been, yeah.
"Oh, Arsene, have you seen the banners?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're pricks." Like he's been like, "Arsene, what about the seats?" And he's like, "Ah, I don't really know what to say about that." Do you know what I mean? It's been like,
It is very noticeable compared to like on the other hand where Man City couldn't get the attendance, where their stadium was like half full, but that was just because it's Man City
yeah.
and like probably all the Chelsea fans can't make it to
Yeah.
Manchester in time for their games.
Can't work out where their ground is again. Tops and changes so much, you know.
So yeah, so I mean that was that was just Man City, whereas yours is actually I quite enjoyed it, to be fair, because it was like it's actually some fans taking a stand.
Yeah.
For once, and as you say, it would be easy to be like, yeah, I don't care about the banners, don't care what they say on social media, whereas an actual like half full stadium, is pretty noticeable. It must be really dull as a manager to be in that. Like the atmosphere must be shocking.
Yeah, it makes like a good like. It's something like when you see like really big protests as well.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, there's a lot of people like that have all gathered for one thing.
Yeah.
It's like quite noticeable when you're like, there's usually 60,000 people here, and now there's like 30 tops.
Yeah.
You'd like really notice. So. Yeah,
It's great as well. It's like interspersed. If you were just like, all right, we know if they dealt with it by going, right, we know there's people not coming, so there's no allocated seating anymore. Just get in there and go and find a seat.
Yeah.
Then they'd all like gravitate towards the bottom, and then it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you have just people just like on their own in odd areas of the stadium makes it really even more noticeable.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think they probably will. I think like for the end of this season as well, there'll be a bit more of a. That's what will be nice. Even if we don't do well, we don't win the thing. I feel like there'll be a much better atmosphere now. People have got just like anything.
Yeah.
Even if like the board had come out and said like he's gonna stay and do his 2 years, that's fine. But it's just that no one for the last like 4 or 5 years, everyone's been like silent.
I've always thought that is the worst bit of the situation, is that just no one has said anything. It's been so up until he signed. Well, it's really odd timing. It's all happened in the same season until he signed the new contract.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, oh, there you go, something's actually happened. And then now he's also been like, oh yeah, now I'm resigning at the end of the year.
Yeah.
The communication's always been awful to the Arsenal like fans. And no one has ever known. And that makes me hate it even more when it's in the media, because I'm like, you don't know. Stop reporting on it. Like,
Yeah, they don't
no one
even know.
knows.
Like, yeah, you can't know. Anyway, I think that we've been talking for ages about Arsenal.
No, I have one more question.
Oh, okay. Well, you hit me with it.
So who would you, I'll rephrase that.
Go for it.
On an interesting speculation point, who would be your choice, I guess, rather than probably who's the most likely to be the next manager? Who would you like to say you could have probably anyone? Probably could have anyone, really.
Pep Guardiola?
Well, yeah, except for him.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, genuinely, I would say you could have most other managers, except for him.
I would go for the realistic
Probably not
ones.
like Zidane, but
I would probably go for... tough.
because I have my answer in my head.
I'll talk you through what's going through my head.
Right, okay.
So the first one I thought of was Allegri from Juventus.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, there'd be some nice like tactical set up a defensive team,
Yeah.
and then go how nice players you go play. People who defend actually defend.
Mm.
So but I was like, I don't think he'll go. The next one I thought was Simeone from Atletico.
That would be my personal pick. That's what I would think.
A little bit. I feel like he would be a good mix as well from seeing like Klopp and Pep come into the Premier League and do their like aggressive pressing football. He's like not in that same style, but he's still got this kind of aggression of being.
He's like a attractive Mourinho.
Yeah.
Though in that he's got a defensive approach, but it's more like it's more just tactically worked than like everyone behind the ball.
Yeah.
It's a more defensive structure. As Mourinho's just like stick everyone back, or let's have one shot on goal and score it.
I think the one I think is more realistic that I would be interested to see would be that Luis Enrique guy.
Yeah,
who
from Barcelona.
Yeah, because I think he's not currently got a job.
No.
And I think he's got a little bit of experience, but not too much. Do you know what I mean? He's got a little bit of he's still fairly new to being a manager.
Yeah.
But he managed Barcelona. It's not. I was gonna say it's not hard, but you kind of you've dealt with a reasonable amount of pressure, and you sort of have a way of playing that fits. So you could probably. He's the kind of guy I feel like you could give him 5 years and be like, go and do a thing. See what happens kind of thing. Whereas I feel like, I don't know, if you put in someone like Simeone, I feel like it would be good, but you'd have to start getting results. Because if you were going to be like, okay, Arsenal now play defensive football, that's fine, but you better be winning.
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger can get away with it a bit because he's like, we pass ball. And I'm like, oh, fair enough.
He's also he's also a very high profile manager at the minute.
Yeah.
That he'd need to sort of come in and just fix it. Whereas you sort of maybe need a bit more of a middle manager to come in and sort of be like, give me time, guys.
Yeah.
Because everyone's not like, oh, I know him. He's won all these things. So you wouldn't take a Carlo Ancelotti or something from Bayern?
I don't think so. I like Carlo Ancelotti, but I think he's more of he's like a 6-month manager, isn't he? He comes in to rescue your team.
He is a bit, yeah.
But I don't think he's. I don't personally imagine him being like, I really want to come and manage Arsenal. I feel like he'd be like, if you want, but I don't really care.
Yeah. What about
Eddie
Howe?
No.
Okay.
Is that one done?
Do you know who would be interesting?
Sam Allardyce? He's going to be out of a job soon.
Roy Hodgson? No. I don't think he's doing well. I don't even know if he's managing there anymore. Is the guy that was at Borussia Dortmund?
Thomas Tuchel?
Tuchel, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Is he still there? Because they're doing really badly at the minute, so maybe not him anymore.
He's not still there. He left at the end of last season.
Well, that's why they're doing badly then.
Yeah.
Because I thought he got his team playing really well.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing some of his Borussia Dortmund teams just
Because there was talk of him going to Bayern Munich, and then they got someone else. But I think the word on the word on the street / the word in Gwilym Blake's mouth is that he's going to go to PSG.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would take him as well if he was, because he's got the same kind of. I feel like I would like someone to come into Arsenal with a bit more of a character.
Yeah.
And have a bit more of their style. I feel like that's the main thing. I don't really mind what it is, because I feel like you just have to come in and go, this is how we're playing now. And that buys you a bit of time, rather than...
That's interesting you say that, because I imagine that boardroom meeting, job interview, to be like on Football Manager, when you attend the interview and they're like, these are the philosophies we play.
Yeah.
I imagine... Well, it's interesting that you say that they would let the manager come in and go, pick your style and that's how you're going to play. Because I feel like they would be... They've had possession football for so long, and they're like, this is how we play.
Yeah.
We like to pass it.
Well, you still have to have... I feel like it would be like the Football Manager parts, where there's some things you can change and some things you can't. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the basic is, you have to play attacking football.
Yeah.
If Sam Allardyce is probably a better example. Allardyce at Everton isn't going to work.
No.
Because he just doesn't play how they want him to play. But if someone was like, look... Maybe, every now and then we do a long ball. Then, I feel like we could get away with that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they were like, hey, you know what, we're going to play, 2 CDMs. You're like, okay, as long as we still attack, that's fine. I just don't want to have, a Mourinho situation where you're like, oh, what, we're away to Sheffield United? Let's put 10 men behind the ball and just wait and see what happens. And you're like, definitely going to win the league with this.
Yeah. Yeah, he really was. Well, he was the right kind of fit for Man United, but then not at the same time.
Got the ego for it, but maybe not the.
Yeah, he's got all the personality, but then he was like Alex Ferguson was a counter-attacking kind of football manager, but he still just play it in an exciting way.
I think it is actually my favourite, bringing the topic all the way back to there was a Sky Sports article on Arsene Wenger quotes.
Oh right, yeah.
And I think it might be one of my favourite Arsene Wenger quotes is when he's talking about Mourinho. And I'll see if I can find it now. Why is it? Sorry, I got distracted. Is that Harry? Always Jamie Redknapp's got something to say.
Oh yeah, did you click on the thing? It's Harry Redknapp.
Yeah, I was like, Harry Redknapp's got something to say.
Redknapp.
I was like, Jamie.
Wait, he's one fuck all as well, by the way. Why is he always talking as if... He's worse. He annoys me more, actually, than Thierry Henry acting like he knows everything. Because at least Thierry Henry and Alan Shearer, they've won stuff.
Yeah.
Jamie Redknapp's one piss all. And he's sitting there like, that's how you play. That's what you do. I'm like, no, just because your dad's a manager, shut up.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to go and, like... Even Gary Neville's giving it a go. Like,
Yeah. It's
like,
true, yeah.
You gotta put in, like,
Even
some...
Gary Neville's had like a couple games managing where he was shit and he was like, yeah, still know everything though.
Yeah, you know. I feel like that's what I do. I just apply for the Arsenal manager's job. And then I do whatever Gary Neville said.
Yeah.
I'd like the players would come in after the game and I'd be like, sit in silence for a bit, lads. And I'd turn on the TV, put some headphones on, and then Gary Neville would be like, well, you know, Arsenal today, they really need to press higher. And I'd pause it, turn around and go, we need to press higher. And like put the headphones back on and he'd be like, oh, and Granit Xhaka didn't stay. And I'd be like, Granit, you didn't stay in your position, mate. You need to. 2 seconds.
That'd be
play higher
such
up the pitch.
that'd be such a good like thing if you like walked into the like the post match bit like on the Monday morning or whatever. You're like, right, what went wrong, lads? And you go to the front of the room and you sit there with a laptop, but all the players can't see the laptop, and you're just like, right, guys, I'm watching the match footage now, and actually you're just watching Gary Neville's like analysis on it, and you're like, oh yeah, what I can see here is Granit Xhaka. You need to push higher, mate.
So yeah, I feel like I'd be a great Arsenal manager.
On a like non-Arsenal bit,
Yeah.
He's had one game in charge, but it looked like a decent game. I forget his name fully, but who I'd be very interested to see if he can do well with them, if he's given the opportunity, is I think Duncan Moore. Is that his name at West Brom? The caretaker person that's taken over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's his name. Let me find that as well. Because he seemed like, I don't know, he seemed like he really worked the players hard.
Right.
I can't remember the interview with who it was. Somebody was like, oh yeah, since he's come in, you know, we've done a lot of like practice on how Man United are going to play, etc., etc. And it clearly paid off.
Yeah.
Like they got the result, and they're playing like Liverpool this weekend. If they get a result there, I'd like to see him, give him like a bit of time to be like, do you actually know what you're talking about here? Are you actually managing to get the best out of these players? Do you know how to actually do like match analysis, match practice?
Yeah.
That is who. So I'd like to just out there. I'd like to see him have West Brom until like end of the season. Don't see why not.
Yeah.
Now, like, what's the point hiring anyone else? Like,
oh yeah,
they're not
surely.
going to get out of relegation zone, are they? Although saying that, although I'd like to see him in charge, if they go down to the Championship, I won't be watching them play, so I won't know how well he does with them. It'll be another year until they get promoted, and I'm like, oh, he's still managing them.
Yeah.
And then back in the Premier League.
They should come straight back up. I think they've got like enough. They're a bit of a Newcastle.
I couldn't see him coming straight back up. I think they're a bit like of a. I don't know. I could see him down for like 2 years. I imagine they'll spend the first season being like, oh man, Championship football. Like every weekend being like, really? We're going to play these people?
That was the podcast for this week. Let us know your Arsenal 11 if you care. Or you could just write shit in all the boxes and then send it to us. If you're a Spurs fan.
Yeah, if you're like me, just put Judas at centre back.
Just put, I don't care about any of this.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the FA Cup on Saturday.
And maybe also let us know who you think or who you would like to be the new Arsenal manager.
Yes.
Who you think would be the best pick?
Yeah, put a vote in for me. That's how it works. Democracy and all that.
Yeah, we tweet it enough at them.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, wow, who's this Jack guy? That's what we need to start up, is like some spoof accounts being like, oh, Arsenal should totally sign Jack. And then everyone's like, who's this Jack guy? Wow, we've got to get this Jack guy involved.
Can we like hack the Arsenal board like we're Russians picking the US president?
Yeah.
Can we be like
We'll speak to Mark Zuckerberg about it.
Yeah, set up some Facebook accounts for like Voice of Football to be new Arsenal manager. And then get anyone else who's ever linked with it, get them like, oh, did you hear? Yeah, Patrick Vieira, racist. Oh, it's a shame. Guess we'll have to go with the voice of football guy again. And then they'll be like, oh no, but what about Carlo Ancelotti? No, did you hear? Also very racist. Yeah, he's never been revealed as until now. Here's this totally we didn't make up tape.
Mysteriously died in a skiing accident.
Yeah, we can do that.
Easy, yeah.
Well, you didn't hear our conspiracy plans.
If you made it this far and have heard our conspiracy theories, then shh.
Yeah, shh. And leave a like. Gotta get the views, boys. Quit YouTube. Anyway, we'll be back next week with another podcast.
I'll be back with some more predictions for the following week.
We will.
I mean,
And some
if Tottenham don't win
potential
the semi-final,
rage.
yeah, if Tottenham don't win the semi-final, may not be back next week. So
yeah, definitely
maybe
check in to hear the harrowing tale of Matt watching the Tottenham
Although
game.
my prediction is that we get through to the final and then lose. So next week should be fine.
Okay.
It's the 19th of May, I won't be.
You've got to get high to come back down again. Anyway, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.